Herkese merhaba arkadaşlar. Oyunumuza kaldığımız yerden devam ediyoruz. Nereye git diyor? Terra'ya. Gidelim bakalım Terra'da ne varmış.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
So the ship talks? Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Shh. No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah, you're looking to make contact with Min. I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends... Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home and his guard.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean...
What work specialists, huh?
Move along.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our gunship.
Yeah.
Why
Ay.
can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want a little fun?
Burada iyi silahlar vardır ha.
You want to be famous?
Anti-Creo's energizing voices.
Is that supposed to be a model of the system? Not super accurate.
Decadence ain't gonna save you when beasts chew through the walls.
CNP near Mississippi.
What's gotten into Bachmeyer lately?
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history.
If they'd sent money to Monarch instead of building even one of those homes, I bet we could have rebuilt Stellar Bay.
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics. That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like... Sure you are. And what is it you're delivering? Typical. Why don't you come back when you're...
Hmm. TPS ne amına koyayım.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here.
Hey, that's impressive.
Out with it, you wretched contraption! Does nothing.
You. Oh, there. That's one right there.
There's nothing to see here. Yeah? Looks like... All right.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my...
Oh, my law. Captain! Captain! That's the minister!
If this is about another aether wave clip or radio spot, you make... Drugs, of course. What else would it be? I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending...
He's got no idea what we're asking about.
with... Oh dear, I don't think I can say that. Of course, of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me... Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business in my name.
You've been all alone in this house?
Please, whatever it is that brought you here... Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm.
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place...
Exactly. And fix... Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of... Via the Acropolis district, of course. But only board employees are allowed. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specific... When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites. Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages, but they need to know what's happening. Good. Halcyon.
Oh, there. That's one right there.
The Acropolis district is off limit. What in the law's name are you on about? Sure. Let me just take that off your... Did I say restricted area? Slip of the tongue.
I'm not sure I have ever, in my entire life, felt more out of place than I do at this moment.
Do we really need all this security? I have to go through 3 checkpoints just to take a bathroom break.
Can't be too careful. Dissidents like Phineas.
State your business.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings. Of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
Chairman,
always plenty of filing to be done.
Nothing exciting ever.
A UDL security attendant is nothing. Nothing. A UDL security attendant is always. Please step away. This entry. Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32B form. I'm not authorized to employ you. Now, let's see. I was going to suggest that... Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms. And I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. Just know there are...
Vay bana bakıyor.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. Ah, oh, you were being serious. Will there be any...
A UDL security attendant is always prepared.
No.
Excuse me, just a moment.
You could dismantle a single room of this place.
afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
I beg your pardon. Minister Clark's former office is currently... What? Oh dear. Thank you for reminding me.
Well.
What job did the board assign you when you came of age? Bet it was something real neat, like professional flexing.
Wilderness patrol. Plenty of folk traveling on foot out there, even back when there were roads. I protected them from raps and the like.
When there were roads? Go somewhere? Aside from wherever they were headed, I mean.
Ain't no...
Not so fast. The Ministry of Accuracy... Basically, if you don't work here, or for chairman... I don't know how you got that, but I still don't know you, and I don't have any... What are you talking about? What? There's no way. I'm cleared to know about all... Whoa! Go on through. And...
What's this I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample 4157? That batch failed spectacularly.
I saw a variance in the results that we never accounted for.
What? Something's not right.
Of course, but we're obligated to explore every possibility.
We're obligated
Developing
to get
new
a
Tyler
working
Ritos
formula
flavors
before
may be
Akande has us
glamorous,
all in
but our
tanks to help
work is
test the next
vital to
batch
the
of
colony.
samples. Now get to work. Huh? Get ready!
Geleni indirin. Nasıl la?
Huh?
Great work.
Yes.
What was that?
Incoming! Don't mess with us.
I'd better take a look.
Uh-oh!
I don't want to die.
Something.
Siktir, herkes düşman olmuş ya.
What was that?
Don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! No! Need backup! Please don't hurt me!
I don't want to die.
Baker's Choice Dehydrated Water Tablet. Just add air.
I'll take care of it.
Oha, herkes silah çekiyor amına koyayım.
Here they come.
Wow! Great work!
Pick up any more strays while you were out? You have a message from Adjutant Sophia.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. I'm glad to hear that. This may come as a surprise. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Today the region is profitable for the first time in years. Its workers are productive. They might even be... All this happened because some mysterious strain... You have something I want. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And you're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing. Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else? Now arriving at Phineas's top-secret orbital lab. If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is...
careful, that's my communications terminal. I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can all I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take... Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. Those poor people, they must have died in You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Something about this feels wrong. I don't know why the board would ever conduct such an experiment. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made a... I know! I've suspected as much for years. Of course, I don't expect the board to do a thing about it. They've been trying... The board's mismanagement put our colony on the road to collapse. If we don't put a stop to them... Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this... That's not a plan. That's a goddamn... Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting... Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive... If we link up the Hope to the unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive.
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the unreliable. Then, once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy... I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest... You absolutely should. The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use... I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal, while the board busies themselves... That should do it. You've bought me more than enough time.
Hadi bakalım.
Captain, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost... Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk. Because I'm not in the business of arresting my own... Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing pad.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there... We have arrived at the Hope. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip. Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain.
Hadi bakalım.
That ought to do her, Captain.
What was that?
Incoming!
Don't mess with us! What?
What? What was that?
What was that?
Incoming, Captain!
Unexpected. All security.
Incoming! Done here.
Poor bastards. They're never gonna wake up. The least we could do is bury them.
Alt performance.
I found myself glad to have no olfactory system.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Nereden gideceğiz?
Here they come!
I know what to do.
Go!
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am... Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void and also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor? Wait. I mean... Are you sufficiently prepared for the... Probably not, but don't let that stop you. Searching. Please stand by. Are you sure? That is a... And also... Jump-starting the skip drive. Destination set to the...
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I'm gonna die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport.
Yes.
You should not be doing this.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would...
Hadi bakalım.
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Oh. I feel like I've been turned inside out. Let's not do that again.
What was that?
We're good.
Yapmayın işte bunu çocuklar.
Captain, Captain, I shall now play the transmission I...
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious fire. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate the board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital. How can I be... May luck be... Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
Yürüyün savaşıyoruz.
Here they come!
Ölmüş mü lan? Tartarus'a gidiyoruz. Hadi bakalım.
Warning, intruders. Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you human.
Doc Wells never hurt nobody. Just a kindly old fella living by his lonesome up in the rings, tinkering at his table. The board just couldn't leave him.
And here we are, entertaining the notion of bust.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that... I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward...
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you...
We gonna prepare? Sure.
The fewer folks we got to hurt, the better. Maybe on our way out, we let all those poor souls locked up in there go...
Sure, boss. You do the talking. I'll pack.
Evet. Sana mecbur giydireceğiz. Ay ay 850 şunu beğendim. Şunu yeni değiştirelim. Şimdi eee bana göre bir tanem var. Yapıştır agamına.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible. Oh.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which I'm sorry, you people? Did you just cast a generalization on upstanding? You're up to 5,708, not including the cost of your execution and the disposal of your remains, which will be a... Huh? Oh, yes. I just couldn't see you clearly before. Screen's on the fritz. Damn thing. But for the... Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing...
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. How can I... Forgive me, Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex Hawthorne today. Was there another... As you wish, Captain. No, it was... Alex...
Yürüyün gidiyoruz.
Here they come!
Sağlam kaçtım ha.
What's up?
Let's look around. There's gotta be a few ways through here.
Hadi ama.
Error. Employee information not found. Identify yourself. Error. Transfer request not found. Registered. A fine of 10,000 bits will be a...
Görev nerede amına koyayım?
tired of patrolling, just go rough somebody up.
Hadi ama. Yes. İyi yetiştim.
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon.
Hey, are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff. Oh. Open fire!
Nice one. With us?
Well, look who it is.
Bak.
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's...
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have.
I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid... I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk to me. You want to go die in a blaze of... Besides, I don't know what you think you're doing here, but Sophia's doing good work up there with Phineas. Your efforts will be in vain. Oh, the look on your face. Fantastic. But that's between... I've got work to do.
Öyle yapalım. Sonuçta ben öldürmedim yani.
I don't see what the fuss is about a blasted lasso.
Looking good, soldier.
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that. Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
Captain, you have You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. I'm afraid you have a flair for subtlety. If you'd worked for me, you would have been For all your talents, I have no intention of dying on Tartarus. I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The board's plan never accounted. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation... Well, that's mostly correct. I take no pleasure in this, you know. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. I had a feeling this prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it And don't worry. I will
Make it look so easy.
Ananın amı. Helal lan. Son anda hatırladım var ya özelliğimizin olduğunu.
Why won't you just die?
Get me out of here!
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Hakkında was a monster. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one dud... I'm all right, thanks to you. Hakkında wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a... Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been... 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they...
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to...
You mean... we're all alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning... We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where any... We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than... You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. When I revived you, I thought we can't save Halcyon on our own. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclasts spread like wildfire, and Graham was able to bring many of the smaller Terra-2 townships into the fold. However, his zealous obsession with spreading the word blinded him to the needs of a growing organization, and the movement was unsustainable at scale. The iconoclast way seemed to work best, and ultimately petered out on Monarch. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero-G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later, when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor, underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Junlei Tennyson fought to protect the Groundbreakers' independence. While the board's influence faded, mechanical difficulties forced her to rely on parts that only corporations could provide. The cost was high, and time would tell if Junlei could balance the work with her aspirations for a better future. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. And she often wished aloud that her dad was still alive to teach her about the finer points of starship care and maintenance. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That unit remains broken down and forgotten in the Unreliable supply closet to this day. Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Bu kadar mıydı lan? Ana.
Great work. To shreds, you say? I am a storm! Gotta find a hole in the armor! Everyone all right?
Evet, bir sonraki oyunda görüşmek üzere. Kendinize iyi bakın. Sağlıcakla kalın.